When I was in prison, I met this fool, right? And the reason we started talking is because we was both in prison for the same thing, which was pimping. So since we literally had the same charge, we on the yard chopping it up. You know, we chopping game, talking about pimp shit. And the nigga used to have 304s like a motherfucker. Cause I'm be real, a lot of niggas used to pop they with some pimping on the yard, but I ain't never believed niggas until I seen the flicks. And bro had flicks. Couple little bad Mexican chicks and, you know, some black chicks. Now remind you, there's no secrets in prison. So if you into any type of weird shit, niggas is gonna know. What's in the dark always come to the light. So anyways, I get out of prison. And since we was real cool, I stayed in touch with bro. So eventually he get out. Probably like a year and some change after me. Or maybe longer, I'm not sure. So by the time he get out, he broke. He talking about his old 304s and left them and shit. And he out here trying to get back on his feet. So, you know, I'm like, shit, you just got to give it time. You gonna knock something or whatnot. So after a few months of not hearing from the nigga, he hit me up. He like, I'm finna come through and smoke. But I'm thinking he finna get a ride or something because I know he didn't have no car. But when he pulled up in a new whip. So I'm like, hey, who whip is this? He like, oh shit, it's me. I just copped it. So I'm thinking the nigga got a 304. So I'm like, oh shit, you got another bitch? That's when he like, nah. He like, I started an OnlyFans. I'm like, you started an OnlyFans? What the fuck? He like, yeah, I be making about 4-5 bands a month on that motherfucker. That's when I'm like, what the fuck you be doing on there? He like, I ain't gonna lie, I just sit in my car and beat my meat. And also, I'll be doing collabs with some females. The way he was explaining it to me, he had me thinking about doing the shit. I'm like, shit, I know a few females I could do a collab with. But then, my critical thinking skills kicked in. I'm like, I know for sure it ain't gonna be just females buying my subscription. It's gonna be niggas too. And the thought of some dude beating his meat to my video just didn't sit right with me. So I said, fuck that, I can't do that one. So like a month or two after he tell me this shit, right, he called me out the blue. He like, hey bro, can you give me a blower? I just got jumped by my house. Now I'm already knowing that he lives in his enemy's hood. So I'm thinking that his enemies caught him at his house and whooped his ass. Cause the nigga like tatted all the way up. Like he got his hood everywhere, even on his head. So pretty much I'm like, don't even trip, I got you. But soon as I hung up the phone, I thought like, why this nigga don't call his homies from his hood to get a blower? Cause if I just got jumped by my enemies, I'm not finna call a nigga from the opposite side for a blower. I'm about to call my homies. So based on that thought, I'm like, okay, this nigga probably trying to get over on me. Cause that shit just wasn't adding up. So I kind of just brushed it off like I'm not finna get the nigga shit. So why like a week later, one of my homies texts me out of nowhere. And when I check the text message, it's a video from this dude called Dream of Foreign. And he do videos like on LA gangbangers and shit. So when I click the video, it's that nigga on the camera in the hospital bleeding, recording himself. So he talking into the camera like, yeah, man, my homies found out about my OnlyFans and they whooped my ass and whoopty whoa whoa. But at the same time, the nigga Dream of Foreign is narrating the video, talking about like the situation that's going on why he making the video. So he like, yeah, we got this nigga whoopty whoop and his homies caught him on OnlyFans messing with Only Boys and all type of shit. But still, I'm not believing that this nigga is like that because I done hung around this nigga so much and I never seen no signs of no weird shit. So I'm thinking that his homies found out about the OnlyFans, and since like I was thinking before, dudes subscribed to that shit, his homies was probably like, you want some weird shit, and fucked him up. So like I said, since I never seen it before, I was still gonna give dude the benefit of the doubt. That was until I watched the rest of the fucking video. But as I finished watching the video, it was a part on there where this nigga had put out a tweet. And the tweet has said, so what if I mess with dudes for money? It's not y'all thing. Wooty whoa whoa, worry about yourself and all this type of shit. Once I read that shit, I was like, whoa! I couldn't believe that shit. I'm like, never was this nigga like that the whole time. And I'm gonna be real, I don't got a problem with people that swing that way. I just believe that birds of a feather flock together. And anybody that swing that way ain't got nothing in common with me. So after I watched the video, I go to this nigga Instagram, right? And when I click on this fool's story, it's a video of him and a so-called female. And the words on the screen said, enough said. So the message I took from that was not a female and he was coming fully out the closet and he didn't care no more. After that, I blocked that nigga on all platforms. That shit crazy how you just never know. You would think a nigga solid the whole time, he getting down foul. Anyways, y'all like, follow, and comment for more stories.